Could an East Tennessee corrections officer's death have been prevented? That is a critical question our Caroline Mueller is investigating for us tonight.
She's in the newsroom. Caroline, this all stems from the deadly stabbing of corrections officer Dustin Pedigo at the Morgan County Correctional Complex in February.
Yeah, Ted, Casey, Reginald Steed is the inmate accused of killing Pedigo that night, but tonight the focus is not just on his death, but on whether known security concerns were allowed to continue for years before it happened.
That lock project was started in the state of Tennessee in 2013 by the Building Commission, where they determined that our narrow jam locks were ineffective. At that time, the folks that were here prior to me, there was a decision made that they were going to look at the institutions from oldest to newest that were built to replace these narrow jam locks. Morgan County happened to be the last institution on that list.
That was TDOT Commissioner Frank Strada acknowledging before a Senate committee that the state has known since 2013 those locks were ineffective.
As we speak, you know that you still have the problem in the cells over there at the prison, where inmates can jimmy the lock and have access to the remainders of their cell blocks, which is just unacceptable and intolerable. That still can happen.
State Senator Ken Yager, who represents Morgan County, first raised those concerns in a hearing, saying correctional officers had repeatedly warned about the doors and even asked for padlocks before Pedigo was killed.
And they're still having to check those on a nightly basis, which puts whoever's checking those doors at risk, just like Officer Pedigo was put at risk.
Now, with a TBI investigation underway, Yager says the danger is still there.
And until those doors are secure, it is going to be an ongoing security problem for the officers who are required to check those doors. I can assure them that I won't rest until justice is done.
All right, Department of Corrections, TDOC. Caroline, have you heard from them yet?
Yeah, Ted, TDOC sent WVLT a statement earlier saying corrections is an inherently risky job and that the department remains committed to giving staff the training and resources they need, but did not directly address the cell door vulnerability. Senator Yager says he would not rule out legislation to address these issues in the next session.
All right, Caroline, thank you. Appreciate it.